Morning, Mary. How are you?
I'm really well. How are you?
I'm good. Looking forward to this morning. Our conversation is on supervision.
Yes.
So, would you be able to give a quick introduction? What is supervision?
Okay. So supervision is where you go to a supervisor, to a confidential place, to reflect on your work practice and to look at what went well, what you could have done better. It's a place where you take a view of yourself, like you're standing on the balcony and you're looking at your work with your clients and you're talking about what you could have done better with the supervisor, or maybe the supervisor is pointing out to you what you haven't looked at, what you don't realize. So that's one of the reasons, and that is what they're the reasons people go to supervision, but that's what supervision is all about.
And who is supervision for?
Okay, well, I'm qualified as a supervisor for coaches and psychologists and counselors, you name it. So, but for the moment, talking about coaches, I think any coach that's qualified should really and truly attend supervision, because when you're coaching a client, as I've done thousands of times, you could run into a parallel process where, as it did happen to me, where I was coaching this girl, everything went really well, and towards the end she talked about her dad having passed away that October. Now when she left the room, I sat down, I always do reflect on how my session went, and I realized, you know, there's things happened to me inside, I'm feeling very vulnerable. That's the example of when you would go to a supervisor. You go to a supervisor for about yourself sometimes, or you take a client to supervisor. And when we take a client to a supervisor, that means then there's the supervisor, you, and you talk about the client in the room. So you'd hear us talk about the three in the room, or could be four in the room, which is an organization as well. So supervision is really there to help you really lift the bar in what you do in your work to a higher level through the eyes of a supervisor, helping you to look at your weaknesses, strengths, and seeing how you can do that.
And how does it work, Mary? Was it like one-to-one sessions, group sessions?
It's exactly the same as what I do in coaching. It's an hourly session with a client, the book in. Now, sometimes they'll ring you in advance and say, I want to bring a client that I worked with, things didn't go so well, and I want to look at my work with that client. So sometimes they'll bring a client and tell you in advance. And it works then on a contract basis. Most people will come to me for 6 to 8 sessions a year. It depends on the individual. I always say to myself, when something happens to me in a session, it could be something that could be emotional that I just don't want to talk about at home, I go, that's time to take that to supervision. So the more you get to learn about yourself, learning and becoming more self-aware, that then you'll know when you need to go to supervision.
And how does supervision benefit coaches? So after going to see you, how does that impact their coaching afterwards?
I think it makes it more reflective. You see, we learn through experience, and then when you reflect on your experience, that heightens the learning. So let's say when they've come to me, when they leave, they walk out saying, Mary, I'll try that new, let's say I'll try that new skill out, or I'll look at it a different way. Or one example was where the person wasn't all the time presently conscious in the moment with their client, and she actually talked through the session with me, and I was able to help her realize, well, at that stage when you asked that question, you were at level 1 listening, which is what am I going to ask next? You weren't at level 3 listening. So that's the sort of thing that happens in supervision. And then it's great because the person walks away realizing, you know, oh, I didn't realize that I could have been at level 1 listening and not totally present to my client. And I think, you know, I've supervised people. I have ran the accredited diploma in life and business coaching for 20 years, and I've supervised a lot of coaches. And if you say, what has the reason to come to me? I'm as passionate about supervision as I am about coaching, but at the end of the day, it's all about being our best self, turning out and showing our potential best to everybody that we meet.
Brilliant. And if someone was interested in investing in themselves and investing in supervision, how will they contact you today?
Okay, yeah, you can always reach me on my website, www.marykern.ie, or on my mobile 086-232-8143, or else on my email, marykern@coachcenter.com.
And social media, what social media sites are you on?
Oh yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm also on Facebook.
Brilliant. Okay, well look, thank you, Mary. It's been a great 4 weeks.
Yes,
looking forward to speaking to you again.
Yeah, thank you, Grace. It's been great. Thank you very much.
No problem. Bye.
Bye-bye.